Hello YouTube and welcome to Cyprime Productions. I'm here to help enhance your tabletop gaming experience. Wow, I got a lot of strong, positive responses from my previous quick take video about Blazing Armory. Apparently you guys liked it a lot, and hey, a lot of people have been asking about more item, spell, and archetype reviews, so yeah, I can do more. Let's start with this cantrip that is super good and I don't see it get enough love. Rousing Splash. At first it doesn't look too great. A cantrip that gives you or an ally 1d4 temporary hit points for a minute, but the spell is so much more useful than that. First of all, the spell douses flames and can wash away acid. Mechanically, that means it grants an immediate check to get rid of any persistent fire or acid damage, and counts as appropriate assistance, so it reduces the flat check down to DC 10 to get rid of those conditions. That's pretty great, as persistent fire and acid damages are some of the most common forms of persistent damage in the game. And even if your friend doesn't make that flat check to get rid of the persistent damage, you've given them some temporary hit points to help them survive until they can hopefully shake it off themselves. But the really big thing about this spell is that the temporary hit points scale, 1d4 extra temporary hit points per spell rank. And you can benefit from them once every 10 minutes. So, if you're doing a dungeon crawl, you can cast it on yourself outside of every door for a boost to temporary hit points, and while 1d4 temporary hit points at level 1 isn't exciting, 5d4 temporary hit points at level 9 is enough for a hit or two at least. And since most parties take at least 10 minutes to heal up between most fights, the duration resets and you can cast it again on yourself outside of the next room. One last hidden feature of this spell is that it is one of the few water spells, as in it has the water trait. This may not seem like much, but it can be a real lifesaver. If you encounter any pre-remaster golems, a few of them are harmed by any form of water magic. Cast this on a clay golem or fossil golem and they just take damage, no save. Yeah, no kidding. Read the rules for golems if you don't believe me. If a spell of the appropriate type is cast on them, water in the case of clay or fossil, that, quote, causes it to take the listed amount of damage, this damage has no type, instead of the usual effect. That's right, the golem doesn't even benefit from the temporary hit points. Listen, I know this is a corner case and it's not going to come up in every campaign, but it's a nice bonus on top of the free temporary hit points and the ability to stop your friend from being on fire. This spell came out of Rage of Elements, so it's technically a remaster spell. Also, the spell is divine and primal, so a fair number of spellcasters have access. Lastly, the spell doesn't require any saves, spell attack rolls, and shouldn't require any counteract checks, so you can just cast it perfectly well even if your spellcasting ability isn't that great. This makes it perfect for characters who multiclassed into a spellcasting class and don't have good spell saves or attack rolls. Now, is this spell going to solve all of your problems? No, of course not. It's not great in ambush situations, and you can go an entire campaign without running into persistent fire or acid damage, so you know it's not something that's useful at all times. But it is certainly worth consideration, I'd say. Comment below if you knew of this spell or have used it in a game. I have two friends who each have a monk multiclassed into cleric, and both of them swear by this spell. I'd love to hear about your experiences with it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry for the short video. Remember, I have the NPC Omnibus out on Pathfinder Infinite and DriveThruRPG.com. Go check it out and leave a review if it's not too much trouble. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to tell me and YouTube that you like this kind of content, and as always, thank you, good luck, and happy gaming.